Good morning, online learners. This week we're going to keep talking about latitude and longitude with our jump starter. So as you'll see, I posted it on week 7. Again, top thing. So here is the vocabulary for this week and a little bit of our lesson about latitude and longitude. So as you can see, a lot of these words are review from the past. Cartographer means a map maker. We talked about coordinates last week, and they give the address in latitude and longitude of a place on a map. A grid you should be familiar with in the last 2 weeks. Hemisphere is half of the Earth. Latitude are the parallel lines that run along parallel to the equator. Longitude lines run from North Pole to South Pole. The new word for this week is a projection map, and that is an example of what we're going to look at this week. A projection map is a system for mapping the round Earth onto a flat surface like a piece of paper or a map. So here is what a projection map looks like for this week. As you'll see, this is called the Robinson projection map. It's named after an American cartographer or map maker named Arthur Robinson. And Arthur Robinson is trying to solve a problem here. The problem is that the world is a globe, and it's really difficult to put a globe onto a flat surface like a piece of paper or your computer screen. So Arthur Robinson created this oval-shaped projection map to try to solve those challenges that map makers are facing because the world is round. So as you'll notice from here, the Robinson projection map is curved. It's an oval. And it works really well and gives us great numbers and great coordinates for the area kind of like in the center of the Earth near the equator. As you'll notice, it gets a little messed up when you get close to the poles. And so the projection map is not a perfect representation of the globe, but it's a pretty good job. So we're going to use this projection map for answering our questions for this week. If you go to your questions here, you should be able to answer 1 and 2 just from this first minute of the video for Monday. You know, the vocab word meaning a system for mapping the round Earth on a flat surface. That would go back here, and that would be a projection map, right? And then, what is the name of this week's map? Well, it is named after Arthur Robinson, or a Robinson projection map. Now let's talk about how do we use this projection map to find latitude and longitude coordinates. As you'll notice, this week we're looking at a latitude and longitude map of the entire world. So the equator is right here running through South America, Africa, Indonesia, labeled at 0 degrees. You'll see that the range goes from 0 all the way up past 75, and if you were to get here, it would be 90 degrees north, which would be the North Pole. You'll see that range would be then from 0 to 90. Range is like the low to the high, like what's the range in there. And you'll see that every 15 degrees we get a new line of latitude going all the way up. If we look at our meridians or our lines of longitude, you'll notice that the range here is, again, every 15 degrees we get a new line, but the range goes all the way from 0 to 180, so it's a much bigger range in the meridian side. Again, 15-degree increments for each of these labeled marks. And if you were to have a question like asking you to find all the continents in the eastern hemisphere, you would have to look to the right of the 0 prime meridian and find like the east and label all the continents that have land in the east. And then you could also use these coordinates to find exact continents. For example, if you went to 90 degrees east, 30 degrees north, that would put you right at Asia. And so you can again use these lines to find absolute locations or exact points on the map. They will ask you questions about the latitude and longitude mostly on Wednesday through Friday. One thing that you might need to know is that Central America is not labeled on your map, but Central America is right here, kind of around Mexico, Guatemala, Panama. So there is a question on, I believe it's Thursday, that asks you about Central America. So you need to know that Central America are these countries right in here, in between the United States and South America. Okay, that should be it. Again, please watch this video to help you. Also, listen during our class discussions while I'm teaching the in-person kids. If you have questions about the Jumpstarter, please send me an email or put them in the chat. Thank you so much, and talk to you in class today.